Hey guys, Logan here, and we are straight back into building this race bike engine from scratch, and we are case hardening the cams at the moment, or at least trying to figure out how to do that, so let's get straight back into it. So first up, I'm going to make a stainless cylinder to house a test part and the carbon, because frankly the carbon sausages encased in clay in the last video was a total waste of time. I've packed it down and left a bit of an air gap for the welder. There's a small part of me that thinks this thing is going to be a tiny pipe bomb and make a hell of a mess with that carbon powder everywhere, so I'm going to do the test one in the furnace, and then I'm not too worried if it makes a mess. And then once we're sure that this isn't going to explode, I can do the actual camshafts in the kiln, because that is a much more controlled environment where I can get a better result. Okie dokie, that went really wrong really quickly. Long story really short, it exploded, it lifted the lid clean off the kiln, it made a hell of a mess. I've cleaned up most of the mess. I already had earmuffs on, and I was next door, so I was miles away from whatever the explosion damage could have been. So yeah, very irresponsible. I've learnt my lesson there. Don't heat up a sealed container. That's yeah, bad idea. So gonna do it again, but with a hole in it. Half an hour later, ready with version 2 with improved ventilation. I have a pretty big hole in top corner, so that should relieve any pressure and we won't have anything exploding, hopefully. Alright, that is 2 hours in the barbecue. So it should have a 0.2 of a mil case step, so I'm going to let it air cool and then we can check it out. Alright, I had plenty of time to cool down. Let's cut it open and see what we're dealing with. So the height's about there, 20. So I lost about 20 mil of carbon, but that's alright. So now I just got to take this bit of steel out and heat it up red hot and quench it. Ah, bugger. No biting at all. And then next step up, which is 55, it's biting in. So it's still a big improvement on mild steel. And there we are, that actually went relatively smoothly. Learned a few things. I need to make the top of it a lot taller so we can have a lot more carbon in there, because it seems the top bit of it seems to burn off. And we got this to about 50 to 55 Rockwell, which is pretty close to where we want it. That last little bit of hardness will come from actually using quench oil, which is actually designed for heat treating steel, versus using used engine oil, which is designed for being in an engine. So Peter at Canelli Cams has a whole bunch. He's going to lend me some, which I can put in this container. So a massive thank you to Peter, and I'm happy there was no explosions. The vent hole worked as it should, because that first canister, this is what it ended up looking like. Kind of looks like an angel, so I think this is going to be a tree topper for the Christmas tree this year, which is cool. And now we're going to move on to today's sponsor, Rapid Direct. The first thing I got Rapid Direct to make was a backing plate that perfectly fits the dividing head in my 3-jaw chuck. Here it is, and this is custom made to perfectly fit this chuck, so it perfectly fits in there nice and tight, and it threads onto the spindle as it should. And like, look at this thing, it's like, I should be blurring this out really. The second thing I got Rapid Direct to make is some incredibly strong high tensile bolts for our crankshaft. These will be used to bolt on our balance weights to the crank itself, and they have a precision ground shoulder here which is going to act as a dowel, so these weights are going nowhere. And the last things I've got them to machine for me is a set of clip-ons for an RS125 Grand Prix Honda. Now, they're not just any clip-ons, these are made from magnesium. So this literally feels like it can float away. It is
beyond light, and it is also made from an aerospace grade magnesium and has been ceramic coated as well to protect the magnesium alloy. And this, by comparison, feels like it's made of cast iron.
Now, just so you guys don't think I'm lying, 103 grams, 46 grams. Oh my god, insanely light.
If you have an idea that you want brought to life, it is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Design your part, upload your step file to their website, select your process, materials and coatings, and they'll get back to you with an instant quote. And there's a code in the description for a discount on your first order. Now I'm itching to go use that dividing head, so let's get back to it. With the dividing head back in action, I can finally finish up this custom banjo bolt which I cut the thread on months ago.
1, 2, 12. One, two, three. Bingo.
The boss got himself a new toy for Easter, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to organise the hell out of the machine shop.
And a mere 6 hours later, my god, very happy. Everything is way more organised than it used to be. I got all the messy stuff over by the welder and the, where I use the angle grinder. And if we look at the box in the top one, I've got a lot of the measuring equipment that I use, a few jigs and things over there. There's actually not much in this. So this is the milling drawer, which I managed to just get everything in there. And there's a couple more things in those boxes, but this whole side's empty, so I'm probably going to put all the lathe tools in there at some point, but at the moment they're over there making a mess. But I've procrastinated long enough with all this cleaning, so I'm going to get back to what I was actually doing on the machine.
And there we are, there is one spiffy looking banjo bolt. I'm very happy with how this turned out. Now onto case hardening these camshafts. So I've just had the steel tube turn up and we should be able to fit the cams in there, no problem. So let's go whip up some canisters to hold the cams with a vent hole this time.
Now before I get too carried away, I'm going to remove the coating off the journals because I want to harden the journals as well and not just the cam lobes. So I'll probably sand and polish them in the lathe and I'll be welding them in the box. That's one journal done. Now to finish off the other two and then the other cam. Surely it'll go faster if it's polished. I decided to add a tube to the vent hole to just prevent any sort of mess inside the kiln. Just turn this up to 900 and yeah, we've got a wee way to go before then. 4 hours in, we're sitting at about 920 degrees, give or take, and as you can see, it is fairly bloody hot in there. She's glowing red hot, and so now I'm going to do some CNC work while that's cooking. And the first thing I'm going to do is make another one of these, because this one I made a few too many mistakes on, and as you can see, I've just bolted on our super good looking bolt to that fitting there. There'll obviously be some copper washers either side.
And then there's going to be an oil line here to this fitting here, and then that will go to the oil cooler. So yeah, I need to make one of these that's actually going to be functional.
Hot.
There we are, the stock is nice and square. Now hopefully that fixes some of the alignment issues that I had with the first attempt. After 8 hours, I'm shutting it down and we're going to open it up and vent out some of this inferno. Now while the CNC is busy, I'm going to make a fitting for this barrel so I can attach a radiator hose. With the stock now ready for a thread to be cut, I need to set up the lathe to cut the correct metric thread. So I have to adjust the gears on the side here to get the correct pitch. Felt like I had to take a million passes on this, so I thought I would show you one pass unedited.
Right, here we go.
Cannot believe it, but I misread the micrometer by a whole millimeter, and so I need to cut the thread off and start again.
Right, will this go on?
Right, I'm not going to say how long it took me to get this as a nice tight snug fit, but it took me way too long. Now I'm going to leave it as it is and part that off after it's been nickel plated, and then I can screw it in there nice and tight and seal it up. Now there's also a camshaft behind me in that kiln which has just been heat treated, so let's dig it out and see what it looks like.
Spooky. Looks pretty good.
There we are, our cam is looking nice and almost really hard. So the next step is the quench. Now we've been using this engine oil here, and there's two issues with that. One, it's not the right type of oil to be doing the quench in, and two, this canister is far too small to hold the right amount of oil to absorb all that heat without heating up a whole bunch. So to fix that, we have 4 litres here of proper quenching oil, which I picked up from Peter at Kennelly Cams. Now we just need a bigger canister to put it in, and I think I know just the thing. Sorry Batman, but I'm putting your popcorn tin to a good use, so this should do the trick. So let's give it a quick clean and put some quenching oil in it, and then we just got to heat this sucker up red hot. Yeah. And since that Batman one was leaking, I'll be using a Valvoline jug with the lid cut off. What do you think of this nifty way to grab the cam? So I've just got a wee stainless spacer. I've got a piece of welding wire with a hook on it, and all I've got to do is just shove it down, pull it up, and that will be how I retrieve the cam safely from the furnace.
Jeez, this oil's weird looking. Alright, that's what it looks like after quenching. Now, there's obviously Yeah, I'm not sure what this scaly stuff coming off is, or if that's supposed to do that or not.
Well, I'm as surprised as you guys. That went flawlessly, no issues, very happy. And so there's a couple things we've got to check on this quickly. We've got to see if we are still within spec as far as diameter, because we did have a little bit of a flake off on the quench. Yep, we still have plenty of material to remove with the finished grind. And the second thing I want to check is the hardness, because that is the whole point of why we've just done all this crap. So we're going to go straight to maximum hardness, 65 Rockwell, and as you can see, this file just skates across, no biting in whatsoever. So this cam is currently very hard. It is actually too hard. If I put this in the engine like this, it's going to snap. So I need to temper it. So we're going to chuck it in the kiln at a lower temperature for a set amount of time, and it'll lower the hardness a tiny bit, but make it a lot tougher and make it less prone to breaking. So I'll temper both the cams at the same time. And as far as our oil line splitter, the first half of it is done. I'm just flipping it now and turning on the CNC to finish the bottom half. Once again, a massive thank you to Rapid Direct for sponsoring this video. If you guys have got something you want made a reality, they are your go-to people. And on that note, this has been Logan from the Motorcycle Forge. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.